welcome into Rebecca K Crochet. I'm Becky, your yarn host, and this morning what we are going to do is we are going to take all the stitches that we've been working on, all of our different samplers, and we're going to put them together. And I have, because I wasn't thinking about doing a sampler blanket, I have all different sizes. And so if you have all different sizes of squares, I'm going to show you how to roughly make them the same size. So what you want to do is you want to find your largest size, which I think it's going to be my greenish colored one or this one right here. Those two are the same size, so I'm not going to have to do anything to these two for now. This one is just a tad bit smaller, but I could stretch this one out and make this one work, so I don't think I'm going to have to do anything to this one, because I think I can stretch it. But one like this, I can't stretch it. It's not going to look right. It won't stretch far enough this way. It will this way, but not this way. So I'm going to have to add some kind of border around it. This one, the same thing. I may have to go a couple of rows around. This one is about right, so I'm only going to have to add like a little bit of a border. And I'm just sorting these. The one that we did on Sunday is, I'm going to have to add a border because this one's not going to stretch. This one doesn't stretch. This stitch doesn't stretch very good. So I'm going to have to go around for sure with a double crochet around this one, because I need a double crochet on the top, the sides, and the bottom. And this one, and you just sit there and you look at your stitches. This one will probably stretch good enough. So I have 3 that I need to add a border around. For sure, these sorry, these 2, this one, and the rest of these I should be fine. But they're all going to get a border. These are just going to get more border, and I will show you what we're going to do when I get back and find the yarn I need to use. Okay, so the yarn I'm going to use is Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. It's a 4-weight. This is just white. It's got 355 yards or 325 meters. It calls for a 5.5. I am going to go up and use the same hook that I've been using this whole time with all these blanket squares, except for the first couple that I did. And it's just a 4-weight. I can wash and dry it just like all the rest of my yarn. Most of my yarn that scrap yarn I've been using has been the Hobby Lobby. That is the closest store to me. So what we are going to do is we are going to start with a slip knot on our hook. We're going to grab our first square, and we are going to go around with a double crochet. We're going to start in the corner. We're going to do 2 double, because we are going to also have to increase on this one. We're going to do a standing double crochet, and how you do that is you hold your tail back here, you wrap your yarn around, you poke it into your corner, you bring up a loop, and you always want to mess with this and make sure you push it forward, and you pull through 2, and then you pull through 2, and that keeps the back of your stitch tight and without getting a loosey-goosey stitch there. So then we're going to double crochet again in the same corner, and then in every stitch going up we're going to do 2 double crochets in each, because these are double crochets, and so they won't look right unless you put 2 double crochets in every side stitch. You're going to skip that bar, you're going to go up to the next one, you're going to skip this one, and you're going to go over here to this one. You're going to do 2 double crochets in every double crochet. Now if you had single crochets going across, you would do a single crochet in the single crochets and a double crochet in the 2 double crochets and a double crochet. Or if you want to just do single crochets all the way around, each double crochet on the side gets two single crochets. It gets 2 stitches because that's how tall it is. And so we're going to go across with our double crochets, and then we're going to count our stitches. Whoops. And we're looking for the same amount of stitches in each one across. Whenever we get to the end, right here, we're going to do 2 double crochets in the corner. We're going to chain 2. We're going to turn our corner and do 2 more double crochets. So we need to count our stitches. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We have 18 stitches. We know that these last several stitches we did, we had almost 30 on these. So we're going to try to get up to 30 or 32 stitches when we go around. So we have double crocheted, then we're going to skip this right here because that's part of our double crochet. No, actually we're on the bottom. So we're going to double crochet in that. We're going to do 2 double crochets here because that is 2 stitches. We're going to do a double crochet in the bottom of the V-stitch. 2 double crochets because we have skipped over 2 of those. And double crochet in the bottom of this V-stitch. If you want to try to work into these where we have skipped over these stitches, you can. It's just easier not to and just to go around them. So it's 2 double crochets in the space and 1 double crochet in the V-stitch. We need to make sure that we have 18 stitches. And if not, we're at the corner, or right here at the corner. We will have to redo if we do not have 18 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We have 20 stitches here. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this back to about right here. About halfway, and I'm only going to do 1 in this stitch, 1 in this stitch, 1 in this stitch, 1 in this stitch, and then go, because that's decreased by 2. And let's see what we have now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, chain 2, tighten our work here, we're going to go around the corner with 2 more double crochets, and then we're going to I'm sorry, frog in my throat, and then we're going to skip this one and go up the side with our 2 double crochets like we did the other side, and every stitch up, every double crochet gets 2 double crochets. And then we make sure that we have 18 on this side, including our corner stitches. And if we don't, we go back and we fix it like I showed you just a second ago. Because we have to make sure that we have every side has the same amount of stitches on it. Okay, now we're at our corner. Because you'll have more rows. Sometimes you'll have more rows than you have this way. And so this is how you fix it. And this is what we're going to have to do on our other ones as well. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So if we remember correctly, this is going to have more than 18 stitches. So we're going to chain 2, go back into our corner. So when we get to about the middle, we're going to go across 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're working in those stitches. 6, 7, 8, 9, go here, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, we're going to have to. We're going to skip over this one and go into this one. What we may do here is let's do a decrease here. Double crochet decrease right here so they each have stitches. A double crochet decrease right here, so these two each have stitches. And then continue on and see what we come up with. Let me show you those decreases. I wasn't even thinking about it. Okay, so a decrease, how you decrease. If you have too many stitches and you have to decrease, you yarn over, and we're double crochet decreasing. You yarn over, pull up a loop, and you pull through 2. You yarn over, go into the next stitch, you pull up a loop, and you pull through 2. And you have 3 on your hook. You yarn over and pull through all 3. So that makes the top of this stitch 2 double crochets with 1 top, and that's a decrease. Then we'll go into this one and do the same thing, and this one and do the same thing. So it looks like you didn't skip a stitch down below. See how each stitch has something in it, but up at the top you're not going to be able to tell that that was a decrease unless you're looking at it pretty hard and you're trying to figure the stitches out. That's when you'll notice that, oh yeah, that was a decrease right there. Make sure I did it right. Got the same amount of stitches, and we're looking for 18 stitches. See what we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We're still too many. So what we can do is back up a couple. And do another double crochet decrease. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You know, that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We're going to go right here. So we need 17, 18 to be in this corner, so I'm going to have to decrease one more time. So I'm going to go back over here to 10, and we're going to decrease 11 and 12. There's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, I'm doing a decrease, 16, 17, 18, chain 2, and connect it there. And because, okay, so now we have 18 all the way around, and because this is not big enough yet, now we're not going to have to worry about decreases or increases or anything like that. We'll just be able to go around with another double crochet row. And I'm going to pull this out, and these 2 stitches, I'm going to do a half double crochet right here. I like to end with a half double crochet because it puts you in the middle of the row to go back around. Pull that snug, and see how we're in the middle of our stitch. So we can chain 2 and do another double crochet, and that's a double crochet. The chain 2 counts as a double crochet, and then you need to pull this back and go right there in that one, and you should increase by 2 stitches in every row. And we'll go back and count that here in just a second to make sure. And we're going to double crochet in the top of every one of these stitches. No, you should increase by 4 because your corners should have 2 extra in each corner. So instead of 18, we will have 22. We should have 22 stitches. And you'll have to do this with yours if you have them that are not the same, width or whatever. You can do this with any squares to make them fit right. If you weren't like me, you weren't planning on making a blanket, you were just doing stitches. I have a lot of squares that I just practice stitches on. Okay, so let's count our stitches. We have 1, this counts as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So we're going to chain 2, turn our corner, and we're going to work all the way around with this one the same way, making sure that we have 22 stitches. And don't forget this one right here in your corner. That's your first stitch. That one right there, that's the first stitch of your row that's not the corner. That one's very, very easy to forget or miss over, so then you're going to have the wrong, you're going to have to add it on the other side. And it's harder to add on the other side than it is to just open that stitch up. I've done both. I know these things because you're going to end up missing a stitch on one end or the other is what's going to end up happening. And it's easier just to open that stitch up and go in there than it is to try to go in that last final stitch. Hang on just a second. Okay, so we're still going to the end, and we will count our stitches when we get to the end of every row. We have to count our stitches now to make sure that they are all even for these squares. And then I will show you how we are. I started this on the wrong square, so I got a knot here. Okay, so if you miss this stitch over here, if you miss that one right there, you're going to have to try to work into this one right here. And that one is not an easy stitch to work into. And that's why everybody skips it. It's more difficult to get into that one. So let's see if we have 22 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So we're going to go around, make sure we have 22 stitches on this side, and make sure we have 22 stitches on this side. We'll finish up over here, and I will be back whenever we get all of these stitches done, and I will let you know what we do next. Okay, so now we are at the end of our row up here for our 22 stitches. And we're going to measure it on this one to see how much more we need to go. And we're really getting really close to this. So now we could possibly, pull this one out if we had to, but I'm afraid that this one is not going to have as many stitches as this one has. So I'm going to go around with a half double crochet all the way around this one and see how many stitches. We had 22. We should be able to figure it out. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to see how many stitches I need when I go around this one, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am going to outline all of my squares. I found another skein of yarn. I'm going to outline all of my squares in white, and then I am going to join them in brown. So we are going to work on this one now. We're going to start up here in the corner. And I'm using white scrap yarn. We're going to start right here with the standing double crochet again. You can do a chain too if you prefer. I just like this method better. And we're going to work around this chain 2 right here that we started with. And then we're going to do a double crochet back into there. We're going to hit this stitch right here. We're going to open that one up and go make sure that we hit that very first stitch and don't lose it. And all of our corners on this one are going to have to match just like the other one. And I wanted this is just a design element. You can do a single crochet, a half double crochet, a double crochet, whatever you want, and however big you want to make your squares. I decided that I wanted to have a little bit of white on all of the edges of mine, and some of them are going to have more white than others. But I needed to do this before I finished off with my yellow square that I was just working on, so I could see how many stitches that I needed to go up to. And that's the stitch count we're going to try to keep. Whatever stitch count I get on this one is the stitch count that we're going to try to keep for all the rest of them. And we're going to have different stitch counts on different squares because of the way these squares go together and the way these stitches are. So we're going to have to do this outside round as trying to be the same for all of them, and that's why we are putting another border around them. If you want to, you can do this in the same color as your square. That's perfectly fine, perfectly up to you what you do. Now with this last one, I'm going to go around this bar for a corner right here. So we're going to do 2 in that on this side. Then we're going to work over our tail and we're going to chain 2 and we're going to go back down the other way. So when we do that, when we're counting our stitches, we are not going to count these 2. We're only going to count the ones that are up on top. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 stitches. So we need to have 30 stitches going down, across, and back up. And that's how this wavy border on this side, it's going to look like this when we're done. So we're going to do this the same way we did the yellow. Go down, make sure that we have 30 stitches, add or subtract. Make sure we have 30 stitches, add or subtract. We should have on this side. And then 30 stitches going up this way. And I will be back when I get up here. Okay, I wanted to show you a little bit of a trick that I do sometimes. So I have this up here, and to get my 30 going across this way, I know I'm going to have 2 on the end and 2 on the end. So how many am I going to have to do in the middle? So I'm going to have to do 2 here, which is going to be my corner. So that would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. So I'm going to have to add, to get my 30 stitches, I'm going to have to add 4 stitches somewhere in here, evenly spaced, extra. So this is how I do it. I'll work over my tail. And we know that this is 2, and that's my corner. So I'm going to put 1 here. And I'm going to do 2 in this, 2 here. Then I'm going to put 1 here in that. There's a hole right there. I'm going to put 1 in there. And just 1 right here in between. 1 here. And I'm going to do 2 here. That's a total of 2 extra stitches I've done. I'm going to do 1 in here, 1 in here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and I'm going to do 2 here. So that's a total of 3 extra stitches. 1 here, 1 in this one, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. Now here I'm going to do 2, so that should give me to 30. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to count these stitches right quick. I'll be right back. I'm sorry. I'm having to cough and do all kinds of weird stuff off camera. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 27, 28, and this is my corner, 29 and 30. We're going to chain 2, turn our corner, work over that tail, and go across, making sure that we're going to have 30 stitches across this way. If we kept our stitches even, we should have 30 stitches across because that's what we started with. And we're going to have to do the same thing that we did here over here, and just kind of mimic this one over here, and you should be fine on this side. But see how it straightens up your edges? It'll straighten up this edge over here as well, and I'll be back whenever I get to this row. Okay, I'm at the end. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. And in this last stitch, I'm going to have to make a corner. So we're going to go with 4 of them in this last stitch. That's 29 and 30. Chain 2, do our corner. Go back in with 2 more double crochets. Now on this one, on this side, since we went into that corner stitch, we're going to have an extra double crochet. So we're going to have we have 2, that's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. See what that looks like if I'm ruffling or not, if I'm laying flat. Okay, so how I'm doing this is I'm doing 2 in these stitches right here in these open stitches, and I'm doing 1 at the top or at the head of the stitch and 1 at the back of the stitch there. Because I'm at the head, because it has a bar there, it'll hold that stitch in place. And then I go down here and do another one in that bar. You can see the bars when you pull your stitches apart. There's no bars here, so you just have to do 2 stitches in this one, and then there's a bar right there. You can go in there. I may be adding stitches. I'm not sure yet. We will see when we get to the end and what we need to do. Because we want to get to 30 stitches with our corner. But usually, whenever you go across and you have bars, you want to usually use those bars so that your stitches look, see how these stitches look pretty even, but these look grouped together? You want to use those bars because they will separate out your stitches. But we can't do that here in these because they're too wide and we don't have bars to use. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. I'm going to skip over that one. 27. Oops, I put too many in. So I need to go back. Pull these out. I don't need those extra ones in that bar, or most of those extra ones in that bar. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You know what? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Let's skip that bar. 25, 26, 27, 28, go back in here, 29, 30. And we're going to fasten off over here into the top of this stitch after we chain 2. So that's what it looks like. And the reason I did that was because I wanted most of them to have the double bars. This one doesn't, and you can tell that right there. I may go back and put it right here and just here and have these two and skip that double bar because it looks like I missed a stitch right there. So that's probably what I'll do is two here and 2 here. And that's how we'll go all the way down. 2 and then 2, 2, and take this one out. 2, 2, 2, 2. I'll have to have that third one in there. And 2, 2. So we get to 30. But nobody's going to be counting your stitches anyway. You're going to be the only one that knows that. So as long as you've got 30 lined up on every side, you should be good. And then we will get to 30 with this one, which looks like now, since I did that, we're going to have to go out one more. I don't remember how many stitches I had here, but if we need to, we can do single crochets to get to our 30, or 2 rows of half double crochets to get to 30, whatever we need to do to make this one. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So we're going to have to add 8 more stitches, and we're only going to be adding 4. So we'll have to do 2 more rows. So it's either going to have to be half double or single crochets for our 2 more rows. And I would say single crochets, 2 more single crochet rows will get us to the size that we need to be on this one. Then we're going to do the same thing with this one and any other one that is small. We have to get our widest row to be 30 crochet stitches. So whether it's single crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, or if it's small enough that we have to do treble crochets, that's what we have to do to get our stitches out here. And whenever you get your stitches done, I will come back and show you here in just a second. It'll be a second for you. It's going to be a little bit for me, how to put these together. And that way, I think we're going to do the zigzag stitch. We're either going to do the zigzag stitch or the open stitch. I haven't decided yet, but I'll show you one of those this time and how I'm going to put my squares together. and I will see you in just a second. So this yellow one, I went back around it one more time with a half double crochet. Now I'm really close to the same size as the one below. So because I'm so close to that one, I am going to go with this next round as a single crochet all the way around. And that's how you fit your squares together. You just do whatever you have to do to make them fit with the right amount of stitches. I could have half double crocheted all of these rows, but since I started out with a double crochet, now I'm going to half double and single crochet. And that will get me, right now I'm sitting at 26 stitches, and so whenever I do this next round, it'll get me to my 30 stitches. And you need to do that with all of your squares and make them however wide you need to make your squares to fit what you have got on your squares. And you could have really small squares and just create a bigger square, or some bigger squares, and you don't have to do anything but put this border around so that all of them are even all the way around. So whenever we go to put our borders on, that we will have the same stitches all the way around. And I will be back. Okay, we are at the end of the single crochet round. I have 30 stitches on each corner. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fasten off. So I have slip stitched. Going to cut my work. Pull out the loop, snug it down. And we're really close to the same size with each of them. This will stretch now if I need to. Either one of these will stretch or snug down to how I need them to be. And we can do our border on these. So now what I need you to do is I need you to take all of your squares, make sure that all of them, you do just like this one or this one, and get all of them even with whatever color you want to border your squares with, and then come back, and the next video will be how to join our squares together, because I have a lot of squares to do, so I can't make that video right now. So I will be back with how to join our squares together in a later video. I hope you guys liked this and how to get your squares even so that you can join all different kinds and sizes of squares together. And like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Have a great day.